Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So a few days ago, I shared this YouTube. And after I shared this YouTube, I found out that some of our friends have implemented in their school where they watch their student, make sure that the student recover. Like here, it say, I told him stay home and first make sure your recovery well and make sure that your energy level is back to normal before come back to class. And I do the N1. So I'm glad that somebody have watched this YouTube and implement what I share here. It is very important. So my reply is good. Most thing working hard, keep training is good. Well, like if you watch those Hong Kong kung fu movie, you see people train like crazy, and that is the way of kung fu, right? But well, that's not the way, as you can learn it from this YouTube. Now, the reply is you have to take good care of yourself, and that also means that you have to listen to your body when the energy is too low. This is also part of the training. Yeah, this is correct, which is we need to implement in the United States of America and Europe and the West and all over the place. One must not just keep training hard. You need to listen to your body, learn to listen to your body. So please watch this YouTube because there's a lot of information inside there, okay? So not only one need to train, one need to know how to recover one's body. And then I got into some friend is talking about practicing Xiu Lim Tao for an hour. So if you go to ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT on practicing Xiu Lim Tao for an hour, he will tell you for an hour can be a great way to improve your Wing Chun skill and focus. And then here I ask who practice Xiu Lim Tao for an hour. He said, well, people who practice Xiu Lim Tao for an hour typically include dedicated Wing Chun practitioner orders. Well, and then there are some friends who send me this Xiu Lim Tao. The whole of Xiu Lim Tao is Qigong. Breathing is center component of Xiu Lim Tao as focus on the development of internal power. And then, you can take a snapshot of this thing and read for yourself. And then over here, it says that the important point of Xiu Lim Tao can be grouped as follow. The structure of move, the move of the control by mind, the move to be controlled by mind, the input of mind, force, the theory of center line. Well, these things are really seriously problematic. Let's face it, okay? Let's face it. Wing Chun get popular because of Bruce Lee. After Bruce Lee, even though Bruce say himself that he do Jet Kundo in 1969. But people promoting Wing Chun with Bruce Lee, and then you create a lot of things out there until today, including creating that training for 1 hour type of stuff. Now, in the reality, until today, what Wing Chun have is a lot of stories and create more stories, but it is always living in the past. It doesn't have the components. It do not have sufficient component to really develop anything serious in Chinese Kung Fu or in today's martial arts. So it doesn't have sufficient component or details for develop what is the real authentic Chinese Kung Fu in the past. And that is what Wing Chun is today. Everybody is still doing the packaging, the imaging, the story tech, the talking, the claims and everything, but they do not have the content. And seriously, that is really problematic. Like for this, talk about Qigong, breathing and everything, but it doesn't solve it. It just go for something else. And then in the chat GPT, it is talking like not talking. Okay. So it is really problematic. Are you serious? You're going to practice Xu Lim Tao for 1 hour? Are you sure that you're going to develop, improve your Wing Chun skill and focus? Or you are damaging your body? So Wing Chun have a lot of puzzle, unsolved puzzle. Because as what I shared with you just now, the entire Wing Chun pick up because of people making use of Bruce Lee to do marketing. And then after that, it's all citing old stories, claims, and so forth. There's no content there. So today I want to share with you more uh, so that you have this part of the stories or the content or the technical details. And after this YouTube, you will see the full picture. And that's the only way that we all get progress. No, I am not saying whatever I say here to put down anybody. In fact, I'm trying to solve the puzzle because everybody is in the boat now, on the boat, on board the boat now. If you don't solve the puzzle, you don't have a solutions, you know, the entire boat sink. Now, that's why in this channel and in my book, actually, I'm solving all this puzzle, which you must know. Or else you're not going to develop anything. Wow. Can you argue with me? No, you can't. Because after this YouTube, if it's not enough to say you cannot argue with me, after this YouTube, you know, you can. You can't even touch the basic. But the point is so that you know what is there. So with this, we all can start to get into a proper training and everybody win. That's the idea. So that's my goal. And so like in restricting Wing Chun, that is the root of the technical of where Wing Chun is from. In that word is hearsay, he says, she says. So that's why I wrote this book, because it has to be put into ISBN formally and to leave a record here. This book, Wing Chun Inceptions and Decoding Wing Chun, is the key of how you develop your Kung Fu. If you don't know the details of it, you really don't know what it is. We can go keeping chat GPT like that or reading something like that, but you really don't create anything or you don't develop anything. Okay, so today I like to get you into the deep stuff, okay? Deep relative to people who don't know this exists. But for the advanced people in Chinese Kung Fu, they know all this. They in the world, there are a lot of people still in Asia who know. Too bad they don't speak English and they don't merge it with the science today. So they know a little of the big picture, but they will not be able to merge with today's world to see how the entire thing is. And so today I like to share this with you. Now, in Wing Chun, you always need to ask when you are training, which part are you training? Are you doing the recovery? Are you doing the fitness training? Or are you doing the martial art strengthening training or fighting training? Those are different stuff. So for example, if you say, well, you train Xiu Lim Tao for 1 hour, what are you training? Which part are you training? You look at most people train Xiu Lim Tao is doing it slowly and all those stuff. But we need to be specific. Otherwise, what are you training? You need to ask the questions. Because the world is a causal system. There's cause and effect. You need to know what you train to get result and be effective. Now, today I want to open up even more in depth for you. Disregard of it is the Qi neurosync or the recovery training, the fitness training, the strengthening training. Within all this training for each of them, there are 3 training components you need to know. Or else you will not be able to develop that skill or that Kung Fu. So let's now talk about Qi internal, like over here. The whole Xiu Lim Tao is Qigong breathing, is a center of Xiu Lim Tao, and then structure of move to be controlled by mind, the input of mind force. Let's not talk about this. Let's get to the point. What are you training in your Xiu Tao? Is it for recovery, for fitness, or for strengthening training? And if you say it is qi neurosing or recovery training, how do you handle the blood flow distributions? How do you handle the breathing? Is that the breathing appropriate with the training you're doing? The breathing type. And also, how is your intra-abdominal pressure handling? You need to know this three. Otherwise, what are you doing here? So from this so-called 1 hour training, it has to be very specific. For recovery is one thing. For fitness is another thing. For strengthening training, for fighting is another thing. What do you train? And then you ask the questions. If you want to train for fighting, strengthening, how is your blood distribution, blood flow distribution? How is your breathing? How is your abdominal pressure handling or training? So let's go through one by one with the recovery training, the fitness training, and the strengthening training, okay? On this training component. For Qi neurosing training, the blood flow distribution will be in the internal organs, mostly. So this is the total flow, blood flow at rest. For recovery, you're in the rest time, okay? So that's how it is. And then this is a total blood flow for strengthening exercise or training. You see the skeleton muscle blood flow, blood distributions is this much, but in the strengtheners training, it is this much. How about the abdominal? How about like the heart? How about the kidney? Okay. So you need to know that at the recovery, the blood flow is in the internal organs. It's not over here. So if you train Xiu Tao for 1 hour and then you get all sweat up, you know, or you use this strength, this force, and all this thing, you know that your blood flow is in your in the skeletal muscle. They are not in the internal organs. That tell you it is not going to get internal to the internal organs. It's not going to get you recover. Speaking of breathing, in today's terms, you have this oxygen and carbon dioxide balancing. And so if you look at today's science, this is what it is. Okay, take a snapshot and then you can read about how it is the balancing of the oxygen and carbon dioxide. And if you want to further read about it in today's science, you have a ball effect. Okay. Those are the things you need to know. And that is using today's term to explain what is the breathing is about. And of course, when you get into this, like this N1 process for recovery, N1, which is belongs to here, it has to be oxygen, carbon dioxide naturally balancing, meaning that it's not manipulative. It has to go, it has to come naturally. Now, when you get into the intra-abdominal pressure, which is the handling of this. When you are recovery, what happens is you want it to cause internal organ massage naturally happen. Okay. So that is for this. Now, so you need to know, right? When you do the recovery training, you have to satisfy as what I just shared with you. Now, if you look at for fitness, well, you know that for fitness, it will be between your blood flow will between the internal organs and the skeletal muscle. It distribute that way in the middle, where this is the recovery, this is the strengthening training. Now the breathing, the oxygen CO2 balancing. In today's world, it is manipulative. In the ancient Wing Chun, because it is everything based on the breathing, the natural breathing here, it built out from here, built out from here. It is manipulative, but it's based on natural. Okay. Now, an example of manipulative breathing is like this in fitness. Like in today's, we have this Buteyko methods or this Wim Hof breathing methods. Those are all manipulative stuff. Okay. Those are non-natural manipulative stuff. If you look at the Buddhism, the mindful counting breath and everything, or the Taoist, they are all doing in the natural way, like N1, like the N1 process. Those are a natural way. Like the Buteyko or the Wim Hof, where you can Buteyko or the Wim Hof, where you can watch in the YouTube, they are manipulative. Whatever manipulative, you have a problem. And that is not everybody can do it because it has to actually depend on your health. And you don't want it to do it for more than, say, 20 minutes or those kind of stuff. Okay. So it can cause your internal organ to be fatigued and all kinds of stuff. And then for the intra-abs pressure for fitness, well, it can be internal organs massage naturally and the core stability. It's in the middle of both. Have both of this internal organ massage and some core stability or internal organ massage. Meaning, when I say internal organ massage, is like meaning say it's better. Yeah, say you have this is your this is your ab intra-abdominal pressure here. Now, by doing it, the breathing is in the natural and the gradual and slow way. You actually uh, let the pressure inside there moving up and down. You are massaging the organs within it, okay, or the organs, the internal organs uh, between this inter-abdominal this compartment and the thoracic, your chest, okay, your chest cavity and your abdominal cavity, your internal organ there. Because of your breathing, you are massage it. You don't solidify it, okay? Which is like you want to strengthen your core, you put pressure inside here so that you be able to strengthen your core like people who are lifting weight, okay? So they are strengthening their core to guard their spine and strengthening the entire thing, okay? So at recovery, you just want to let the breathing to be natural and intra-abdominal pressure to be natural. So it's just massaging, okay? For the fitness, it can doing that, or if you want to have a more strenuous fitness training, then you will have some the core the core stability handling. Okay, so that is for the fitness. Okay, that's for the fitness. So you know that for the to repeat again, for the recovery, your blood flow is mostly in your internal organs. Your breathing will be natural. Oxygen, CO2 balancing. You don't do anything. You don't manipulate it at all. And the intra-abdominal pressure, it is all let it be internal organs massaging. That's for the recovery. For recovery. For fitness, then the blood flow will be in the middle. Now you have some in the organs and skeleton and second skeleton muscle, and the breathing will uh, For like Wing Chun 1850 is based on natural, but it start to have some manipulative. However, in the market today, like I just shared with you this potato or wind half, it is not natural, it is manipulative. Uh, that's for fitness. And whatever for the manipulative, you don't want to do more than 20 minutes to be safe side. And not, it doesn't work for everybody. It can cause problem uh, with people who have heart, health problem. Okay. Now, and of course, they designed that, like the Windhoff and the Boteco, they designed it to do a certain thing. But that certain thing, you need to make sure that your body uh, is be able to support that. Now, the intra-abdominal pressure, for the fitness is you will be uh, have internal organ massaging and core stability. You can have both, or it is internal organs massage. Okay. In fitness, you might have both or have one, but you are not going to do only for core stability for fitness. Okay. Now, uh, so if you look into the strengthening training, well, the training component will be the blood flow distribution will be in your skeletal muscle, meaning you're going to exert a lot of strength. It is uh, it is a full accelerated uh, impulse momentum. It's like in your sparring, okay? Full force sparring. It's not like sparring, heavy sparring. And the breathing at that time in Wing Chun 1850, again, it is based on natural, but it get into manipulative. However, in today's, most of the training in the sports, it get into manipulative because they do not develop the natural breathing before they train the manipulative. It's like, for example, like the Buteco or the Windhoff, they don't know what is natural breathing. They just uh, advocate on their type of breathing. Okay, so those type of stuff is it is very different. Okay, now for Wing Chun, you know that when you get into this the fighting level 2 training, it is completely manipulative because it is the performance counts. It is no longer natural count. That's why it can be really damaging. And for the fighting training or the strengthening training, the intra-abdominal pressure will be the core stability or even taking impacts. It no longer, it is the internal organ massaging. It is just, you need to hold on that so when you take a blow, your body can take it. So this is what is the reality. If you want to do a training, you need to know this. You need to know all this thing. Instead of saying that it is internal, it is chi. What are you talking about? And for the strengthening training, you will not be able to do healing for the internal organ. Strengthening training is strengthening you, strengthening your the skeletal muscle, your muscle endurance, and so forth, and your body solidify your body, stabilize your core. You may be able to take impact, but you don't have the ability to to train to recover your internal organs. For fitness, if you don't have that design of the natural part of the natural massaging, you are not be able also to train your internal organs. Okay. So unless you have the natural part of the recovery, the natural part, put the blood to the organs, the natural balancing and the internal organs massaging, you will not be able to train your internal organ. Now, let me share with you. Uh, okay, let me share with you this so that you know. This ibuki, this is for strengthening training. This cannot train the internal organs. However, it can strengthen your body, you can take impact and so forth, but it will not be able to strengthen your internal organs. If you have a kidney disease or heart disease or so forth, you better don't do this. It's not going to help you. Same thing with the ngor type of breathing. This type of breathing is the strengthening breathing. If you have chronic conditions, this will not help you to heal. This will strengthen your body, but not helping your body to the reverse. It might damage you. If you fatigue, if you train and your internal organ and so forth get fatigued, it causes you problem. Okay? That's why the Chinese call that if you train too much, you can get internal injury. Internal injury meaning that you get your internal organs to fatigue and you cannot recover. I have friends and teachers who have kidney disease and trainers passing away, who have diabetic and have internal organ issue, trainers and passing away. Okay. Same with the iron wire sets. This thing can strengthening you, but it cannot train your internal organs. Same thing in Xiu Tao. When you're doing that exertions of force, that part, it is strengthening training. It's not going to help you to heal your body. So you don't want to do this type of stuff in when your body is weak or you need recovery or you're in the gray area like in the last YouTube I shared with you, in this YouTube. In this YouTube. Okay. So you need to know that. Now, so for the recovery, this is for the recovery where you just stood there. You see the breathing naturally, and it's kinds of natural resonance and deep. Those are the type. For natural, you don't even manipulate it. For fitness, like this thing. Over here, between the Qi neurosing and training, okay? Over here, okay? Where you have recovery and training, you always have alternative. It is like this. So this is, you look at the lower abs, okay? When the hand go up, inhale, the lower abs pumps up, and then exhale, it going down. Those are the type of the fitness training which can massage the internal organs. You see that it go gradual and it's soft. Which is really different compared with this. You see all this forceful stuff where the intra-abdominal pressure and all those solidify stuff, strengthening stuff of their muscle. This is not. This is circulations, blood flow circulations in the internal organs, and the breathing, the natural balancing, and then massaging the internal organs. And of course, for this one, will be you just standing there. You let the breathing do it for itself. It's recovery. You don't want to move. Okay. So, so you see this part is like the N1. It is in here. Okay, in here, in this zone. Okay, neurosing chi in this zone 1 and zone 0, this here. For the fitness and the neurosing chi type, okay, which is over here. Okay, you look at my arrow, zone 1, zone 2 stuff. It is this. Okay, now this, this, this. Those belongs to this area or this area. Start from zone 3 above. Okay. So you see that three type of training. Okay. So you need to question yourself. When you do Xiu Lim Tao, you say 1 hour. What are you doing? You know that whatever here, you don't want to more than 20 minutes. Okay, because it is a lot of things are manipulative. Okay. Even for the fitness, for fitness like this, you also have to balance it with this. Where I don't move at all, you see that the body, the breathing and move. This is called recovery. This is or nurture. Okay, so this is called nurture or recovery. This is called training or circulate. Okay, so this is training or circulate your blood, your qi, your breathing, massaging your internal organs. This is let it alone. Let the entire thing balance itself. Okay. So that is belongs to here. And for the training, like this, as what I say, you don't want to overdo this thing too. This thing, the most thing every day, probably you practice 1 hour or the most 2 hours if you are strong. But the 1 hour and 2 hours, meaning that you have to have this combined with it. Or else if you keeping doing this type of stuff for 1 hour, for a long run, even though it's natural, but it's already manipulative, it still drain you because when you want to circulate your blood circulation and everything, it drain you. If your body is already weak in the gray area, like last time I shared with you, you might not be able to do it. So you have to be watch out. That's why people balance up this, circulate the energy and the blood flow and the breathing with this. For the guy who is really is in the gray area, sick already, they are doing this like 70% of the time and 30% of this. Okay, for people who's really sick. Now, if you're really sick, you lay on the bed, you only can do this because your body will use up your energy even if you do that. Okay. Now, when you get more and more healthy, you can do this 50% here, 50% here. That's all. When you get strong, only you can do this. Or else you get into trouble. Like this is the sixth healing breath and so forth. It is belong to this. Okay. So I just share with you now all this combination you need to know. So even if you do just like this Wim Hof method and so forth, first you need to know your body can handle it. The second thing is you are not going to do for long because it's going to fatigue your body and you can create all kind of problem. Especially you have chronic disease, better have a medical doctor to check on you before you do something like this. Okay, because it drain your energy. It just manipulative stuff. Okay. It's just like you're talking about that nothing can replace sleeping. If you don't sleep, you can say, well, I can listen to the music, I can relax. But if you don't sleep, get a deep sleep, you cannot recover that. You cannot replace deep sleep. Okay. Now, so again, like this is in decoding Wing Chun. This is in decoding Wing Chun. Okay, I'm just summarize this thing for you in decoding Wing Chun. So this is decoding Wing Chun. That's the reason why it is so important. Okay. Uh, this is in decoding Wing Chun too. Well, this talk about breath holding. When a person hold their breath for an extended period of time, oxygen level decrease and carbon dioxide accumulate in the body. A lack of oxygen to the heart can lead to abnormality of rhythm and all this thing. Well, that is, if you read about that you can have this It is based on like things like the Bohr effect, okay? The oxygens and the carbon dioxide stuff, okay? Now, uh, and another thing on another part of the beside the holding, if you read here on the Shaolin, old Shaolin, this is the Shaolin classic, it say that continue opening the mouth can lead to excessive release of breath. Well, what is excessive release of breath? Well, that is hyperventilations. Again, it has to do with your carbon, your oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? Hyperventilation is a rapid or deep breathing, usually caused by anxiety and panic. This overbreathing, as it is sometimes called, may actually leave you feeling breathless. When you breathe, you inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Excessive breathing may lead to low level of carbon dioxide in your blood, which cause many of the symptoms that you might feel if you are hyperventilation. Now, you have to be careful on this thing, on overbreathing, excessive breathing. You look at those people who practice Lim Tao, what, for 1 hour, they just they holding their breath, or they just keeping exhale, do not have enough inhale. That means their oxygens and carbon dioxide do not balance. You're looking for trouble for that. I just show you about the holding the breath and hyperventilation, right? Or you go chain pan. You just take a breath and they do 10 chain pan, keeping exhale, and you do not have adequate inhale. You're looking for trouble because your oxygen and carbon dioxide do not balance. We know that. That's why, like in the Wing Chun, decoding Wing Chun, you can see all this, the oxygens and carbon dioxide stuff here. Because you need to know, okay? You don't just talk about, oh, breathing is a center component and all this mind power, everything. Do you know how to breathe? As I shared the other day, that you need to breathe properly, not get into these situations. You need to have the piston up and down. Okay. I don't know it's still here or not. You need to know the proper handling of your pelvic floor muscle and your proper pelvic floor muscle and your diaphragm synchronizations, and you need to know the balancing of your carbon dioxide and oxygen. What are you doing? And of course, your intra-abdominal pressure, because they lump together. So in the past, the Chinese know, right? This Shaolin is saying that stop, you don't want to practice so much keeping, punching, kicking, that you don't take in enough breath, and then you just have a really low carbon dioxide because you're keeping exhaling. You're keeping exhaling. But you see, Many people practice even karate, keeping KI, 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 open their mouth, KI. But when they inhale, they don't have inhale much. Okay. And then like the wind hold method, you see that they actually they have this deep breathing stuff, forceful, but they have the hold on breathing and so forth. So they have all this oxygens and carbon dioxide balancing. The ancient Chinese no, but today with this oxygens, carbon dioxide balancings, and everything we know today scientifically, we have better handling of what you're doing, what we're not supposed to do. And as for the natural breathing, of course, you let it balance itself. And even for this, even though there's some manipulative, you still want to let it balance. You don't want to exhale too long or inhale too long. And that's why I just now share with you. The one you do it with this. Say you do it with this. Okay. You have a deep inhale, exhale, even though it's balancing, but you always want to intermediate with this. Okay. Why do you think when you practice Xiu Lim Tao, say after you do this and you keep back this, right? After you practice this, you put both hand here. That is for balance. That is for the nurture chi or the nurturing chi. Okay, meaning that you give yourself time so that your carbon dioxide and oxygen can balance. You don't keeping doing it. Who knows? It's going to cause your oxygen's carbon dioxide imbalance, and for a long run, you get problem. So the ancient design, they have that, but it is not just a posture. The 1850s Xiu Lim Tao design have that. Okay. And also today, if you look at that, today we talk about mitochondria already. So what's mitochondria? Mitochondria are often referred as the powers of cell. The main function is to generate energy for the power cell. Our cell, the power cell, we generate power. Okay, so we have cell, we need the energy. The energy is generated by the mitochondria. And and so like the zone 2 training increase the number and efficiency of mitochondria. This is your chi, your energy. Okay, so if you read here, again in Decoding Wing Chun, my book, you say that when training intensity is low or moderate, energy is generated by the oxidizing fat in mitochondria of muscle. This process is slow and require oxygen, just referred to aerobic. So all the modern science now merge into the 1850s Wing Chun. And you talk about zone 2 training too in decoding Wing Chun, and that's why we even have this. You have a tracker to track your heart rate, oxygen, your SpO2, your VO2 max. your HRV, or your recovery. So that's why your orders, okay, like this HRV, okay, all sort of stuff there. So this is what I'd like to share with you today. I really, I really hope that every Wing Chuner knows this. That nothing to do with I know it all, I'm the grandmaster, I'm the best lineage, the old lineage. Forget about this. You are talking about people's life there, people's health there. So whatever I share with you today, think when you want to train something, especially you guys, the Sifu, the grandmaster, what do you get your student to train? Will they get the result? Will they be able to make sure that they are healthy? And you know that it can be verified by science today, like I just shared with you. Want the VO2 max, SpO2, your heart rate variability. This is how the world is today. It's not like even the chat GPT say, oh, people practice Yulian Tao for 1 hour. But you ask, so which, what are you developing in for that 1 hour? You practice chain pan. Are you sure that your oxygen and carbon dioxide is balanced? Are you sure that your diaphragm and your pelvic floor muscle is synchronized? How long can you practice? Do you over practice until your body is uh, uh, fatigue? Do you balance up your recovery and your circulations? And are you sure that you can go up for their strengthening training? So today I kind of go through with you, what can help your internal organs, what can screw you because you have a wrong training. If you want to get healing, it's going to get your body fatigue, and of course it's going to causing issue with the internal organ in the long run. So I hope that you benefit from this one.